Hi, I'm Cassie.
And I'm Mariah.
And this is the Cassie and Mariah Show, a podcast where two long-distance internet friends, that's us, discuss navigating their 20s through disability and chronic illness. Mariah, how's it going?
Hi. It's going good. I had some markets this past week, which were very nice to do. We're super busy, but sometimes I just think my idea is getting out of the house. If I make my table back and then some, I'm fine. Things are okay because I made more money at the market than I would have if I just sat at home. So it's always a plus. I'm going to Disney in about, I think with the countdowns, I got 10 days right now.
Whoa.
So I did have my appointment with, it's called DAS, D-A-S, the Disney Accessibility Services, and they kind of help you, navigate, what's the best way that you can enjoy your experience at the park as a disabled person. I didn't really have that much high expectations, as you do. I feel like, going into a lot of these, new spaces now, and with, accessibility services, sometimes, it's the bar is on the floor. And I kind of thought it was going to be like that, just having low expectations going in. But then when I actually made my appointment and I talked to the person, which was a video chat call, which I liked a lot more than having a phone call. I explained to her what I was looking for, what I needed, because of dealing with chronic pain. It's I cannot stand for long periods of time. I get severely dehydrated when I'm also in the heat as well. And I just find even with my POTS symptoms of having, to be standing for a long time when the blood pools at the bottom of your feet and none in your head, you have a high possibility of fainting. And I just, the Florida heat is not going to be what, it's I know Ron DeSantis can fix it, but he's not. And of course, he's going to turn up the dial once I enter the Orlando airport. But I had the call with the accessibility services, and they are a lot more accommodating than I thought they were going to be, which I really appreciated. They are able to, I'm able to book what they're called as lightning lanes. So it's the lanes that you would initially pay for when you go to Disney, but because I can use the accessibility services, I don't really have to pay for them. And I would just be able to walk on the rides essentially, or wait, the 10 to 15 minutes that you would in that lane. So I was oh, great, cool. And I was able to connect everything through my Disney app on my phone, which connects to the wristband that I'm going to be using, the Magic Band throughout the parks. They also have a bunch of guest relation tents around the park. So if I needed to check in with somebody or I need to talk to somebody, they're able to, I'm able to find someone a lot easier, usually because I was assuming guest relations, there'd be a booth in the front of the park and that's it. Whereas no, it's they have multiple tents throughout the park. And also you can obviously get a wheelchair you need to, or a power chair while you're there as well. So I was okay, that's good to know that I can ask them at the guest relations if I really feel I need one that day. I was able to get this is not including with the DAS, but I got my doctor's notes for my flight and stuff for, going down there and coming home, making sure I could bring my nebulizer with me, my medications and stuff like that, which I think as time has gone on, it's been a few years since I've flown. I think 2016 was the last time I was on a plane. I was a bit worried about things with my nebulizer or bottles of medication not having my name on them and stuff. So, I was able to sort a lot of that stuff out, and I'm able to bring pretty much everything that I need. And most people don't have issues going through the airport anymore with medication, so I'm hoping that's a smooth trip with that. I'm excited to talk more about the DAS services after I go to the park and, utilize them for what they are. But, I'm grateful that they are a lot more in depth than I thought they were going to be, Because we've said, sometimes you're can't get your hopes up, because if a disabled person didn't put this together, who knows what it's going to be like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to hear that you're able to get it all figured out in advance too, because that's the worst part about accessibility stuff, is having to wait and not know what to expect and not feel prepared. And so it's nice that you actually get to talk one-on-one with somebody and get it all figured out.
Yeah, because, I think prior to 2020, the only accessibility services you could get are the day of when you go to that park. You could not book anything or talk to anybody beforehand, yeah. So that would be something that I'd be worried about, is having to take time out of the day at the park to make these accommodations and to talk to somebody. Because, you know, when you're in an area like Disney, like, there's constantly things happening that you'd be missing out on if you had to go talk to somebody at the guest relations booth, like, once you get there. But anyway, Cassie, how was your week? What have you been up to?
Not much. Mostly just school stuff. Friday was the Portland Youth Climate Strike, so I went to that. Marched through Portland, listened to a bunch of speeches.
Nice.
It was, it was very nice. A lot of the people who are younger than me, who I've been organizing with over the past few years, like, this was, like, kind of the last climate strike before a lot of them go off to college and gap years. A lot of them are going out of state, so it was
Aww.
kind of emo, because I'm like, you're all leaving me. Just kidding. I'm very excited for them to all go off and do whatever it is they're going to do. And then today, this morning, I went to Portland for my friend's birthday celebration, and it was croissant themed, which was pretty incredible. I'm not somebody, I don't feel very versed in baked goods, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's definitely a symptom of not living close to the city, so, like, there's just not a ton of small businesses directly in my area. Like, mostly we just go to the grocery store and that's it. So most baked goods I'm used to eating are ones that are either at social gatherings or just, boxed cake mix, boxed brownie,
Right.
Nothing special. And so, yeah, it was like most people who came brought a box of assorted baked goods, usually featuring at least one croissant, from various local bakeries, and it was very fun because somehow nobody managed to get from the same place, and even the one that it was technically the same place, they got them from different locations. And so, obviously we took this whole thing very seriously. We all took notes on our phones, we all had rankings, we did ranked choice voting. It was a whole thing, and it was just the most delightful way to spend my Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
And also, like, yesterday it had been actually kind of warm outside, and then it got really humid because it was gonna rain, but today it's back to being, like, kind of cold and rainy, but a normal amount of cold, because lately it's been like 40s and raining. Today it was like 55 and raining. To me, and it was like mostly cloudy, it was mostly not raining, and to me that's like a perfect spring day, like, compared to because we've really kind of still just been having winter weather. And so, like, you combine, like, baked goods with a perfect spring day and it was the most quiet, chill bus ride there. Like, I just listened to my audiobook. It was perfect, and I deserved that.
Yes. Oh my God, what a lovely day.
It was delightful.
Name a good croissant. What croissant did you like?
So the thing is, my favorite item was not, in fact, a croissant, and I still kind of don't fully know what it was, but it looked like a cinnamon roll, but instead of being cinnamon roll-y, it was Nutella. It was amazing.
Oh.
I also had, like, I don't know, there was an almond croissant that changed my life. There was like some sort of donut that I've never tasted a fresher donut ever.
Yes.
There was, the thing is, I feel like now I'm, like, on the come down, because it was at a brewery and I don't drink, so I had a can of root beer, and so between all the baked goods and the root beer, I feel like, as we speak, I'm coming down off the sugar high, and I'm like, I could use a nap right now, but, alas, I'm here, I'm alive, I promise.
Oh, I love that. That sounds delicious. Oh, that sounds so good. So today's episode is a concept that we both came up with. That's kind of this, like, catch-all, like, kind of, we're going to talk about anything that really doesn't, like, we don't have enough information to talk about between the two of us for a whole episode about, but, like, it's enough stuff where, we can all fit into little pieces of, an episode. So it's called a junk drawer. The junk drawer ideology is that, when you're cleaning the junk drawer that's in your house, whether it's in your room, kitchen, whatever, you come across things that you can dispose of quickly, like lip balms, pieces of paper, or just kind of like random garbage. But then you come across things that you linger on a little bit longer because they either have memories associated with them or they're just pretty like sentimental in that way. So some topics that we cover in this episode are going to be like garbage, and some of them are going to be more like thought-provoking and kind of get you in your feels a little bit. So Cassie, because we're talking about junk drawers, you got to explain, where's your junk drawer and what's in it?
So my junk drawer is less exciting than it used to be because I did recently clean it out a little bit. Because, literally, as you do, you occasionally clean out your junk drawer.
Yes.
Mine currently lives in the middle bottom drawer under my desk. I have these, like, plastic, just, like, I don't know, what is that brand, like Sterilite or whatever, that just makes all
like organizers.
Yeah, so I have like 3 sets of those drawers, and so one of them at the bottom, because I don't need to get to it very often, is my junk drawer. And right now, it mostly just has like stickers, so like stickers that I would put on like the outside of my planner or water bottle or whatever, business cards, film and film camera batteries, letters to myself, because every New Year's Eve I have a tradition of writing myself a letter to myself a year ago and then myself a year from now, and so then I read the one that I wrote myself a year ago and write myself, etc., etc. So those live down there, except for I have them in this little, like, I don't know, like tin Christmas container thing that's very small that I think I got a gift card in one time or something, and the folded up pieces of paper are starting to push the lid open, so I'm gonna have to figure out something else. And then I also just have stuff like I have like extra light bulbs for the Christmas lights that I have around my room. I think I have some like very miniature paper, or not paper clips, but like clothespins, because my friend gave me this like wooden frame that has like chicken wire to like be able to hang pictures on and stuff, and so there's specifically like mini clothespins to help attach pictures and stuff. So that's my junk drawer. It's not as trashy as it used to be. If this had been recorded a couple months ago, there'd be like multiple fidget spinners in there, but I decided to part with them.
Wow, you should have sent them to me.
Oh my god. I mean, I really thought about it. I was like, I could use these, but I decided to move on. I have my emotional support pencil that I fidget with.
I love it.
Where's your junk drawer?
So my junk drawer is in the side table that's next to my bed. I have a little like white nightstand that has a drawer and then has this like opening on the bottom where you can put like little, like a basket of shit in there. So my junk drawer currently has, I haven't cleaned mine out. I haven't cleaned it out in a while. So we have everything in there. It's everything but the bagel in the junk drawer. So I have, I'm not even kidding, at least 15 lip balms. I'm a lip balm fanatic. I cannot get enough. So I have like my bunch of different Glossier ones, bunch of different like tube ones, the whole drill. I have my floss in there because I floss before I go to bed. Sometimes. Sorry, my dentist. I have my retainer in there that I also don't wear. Again, I'm sorry, my dentist. I have Magic the Gathering playing cards, which, not kidding, haven't touched them since I was in high school. A friend gave them to me, and I just keep them in there because I don't really know where to put them anywhere else. They don't take up a lot of room because I have them in like the little like plastic case they come in. I have various medications because some of them I just reach for in the morning when I take them. I keep a journal in there. That's like my writer's journal, like when I was trying to do my like 3 pages a day. Like I keep it there because I'm like, oh, I'll grab it if I actually want to write. I keep like my O2 meter. It's that little like finger, like clam thing that goes on your finger. I keep that in there because I kind of feel like it's a good place to have it because sometimes I need it. I have a gua sha tool in there because like sometimes before bed, I'll, use that on my face. I have a manicure tool set because I always break my fingernails. I don't know why, they just become a little weak sometimes, and then I have to clip them, and then I need the clipper right there. I have a bunch of hair clips because that's where I keep my hair stuff. I don't know why. Although I have a tote bag in my closet that has all my headbands and scrunchies in it. I should probably just put my hair clips in there. I currently have a chocolate bar there. I do have to say I did eat half of it last night, so the chocolate bar will probably be gone by the end of today when I eat the other half. And yeah, I'm sure I can name 100 other things in there. I actually have a small container that has silly bands in there too. They just sitting there because again, why am I going to throw it out? It ain't broke. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So
Facts.
My junk drawer truly is junk.
That brings me so much joy though, because mine's almost a normal drawer. You know, but you have to, mine's more of a miscellaneous drawer than it is junk. It's a little disappointing. So I'm glad you could pull through out of the two of us, you know.
I got you. My junk drawer can be yours too.
Well, our first category, because it just so happened that we've had a running list of junk drawer topics, but we broke them down into 2 categories today. Are you ready, folks? Food and crushes. We don't know why it turned out this way. It just did, so whatever. The first thing that we've been dying to tell you all is that East Coast and West Coast butter are different.
Yes, unfortunately, because I will never, I will never be able to buy West Coast butter in any grocery stores. East Coast butter is long and it has more of a yellow color to it, whereas West Coast butter
is like a shorter, stubbier rectangle and is a little bit whiter. I'm just fascinated because I never question. I don't even remember how we discovered this, but I just always, when I picture a stick of butter, I picture East Coast butter. I don't picture West Coast butter, which is bizarre. But it's the truth. It's the butter fact of the day.
You know why? I think because East Coast butter is more represented in society than West Coast butter. Because East Coast butter, the butter emoji is East Coast butter.
Oh.
When you see, I don't know if you've ever got ads on TV for butter, but if you got an ad on TV for like Land O'Lakes butter, that's East Coast butter.
Yeah. Whoa.
So maybe East Coast butter just like is the stronger of the two, you know? We have to talk to people from the Midwest to see like where does the butter like transition into West Coast butter? Like, if there's a graph, if we have a graph of the U.S. and you have like the East Coast is like the darker side, so it's like the butter from, the yellow butter. The West Coast is a whiter side. Like, where does the gradient fall?
How do I convince the people in my group final project for my mapping class that this is the question we need to address?
Please.
And then
podcast research.
One of my biggest gripes with you is that East Coast people be saying, I can't even give an example because when you say it, it sounds so fucked up to me. Pretend you're talking about Disneyland, or I don't know. Give a sentence for the people.
I'm so scared. I'm getting flustered right now. So, like, when I go to Disney, when we, get online for a ride and have to wait on that said line. Cassie, what makes you upset about that sentence? I don't understand.
You wait in line.
It makes sense, waiting in line, because it's a line. There's other people there, and you are in that line with them.
Here's the thing. I think the thing that bothers me so much is that it sounds like online, like the internet.
Yeah.
And especially as somebody who's not used to hearing it, it literally feels like I'm hearing a different language and misunderstanding it. I'm like shocked every time.
Here's my debate, right? Because okay, in the instance of using Disney World again, there's 2 separate lines for rides in Disney, right? So when you get into a line, you're in a line. So you're technically standing on line because you're on that line. Whereas, inline I think makes sense if you are, waiting for, I don't even know if it makes sense. If you're waiting for food, at a restaurant, or you're waiting to order and you're standing like in line with the other people because you're going to the same point.
But you're in line at Disneyland.
But you're standing in the line queue, so it's on the line. Checkmate. I win.
I have nothing to say to you.
I guess that's where we leave it.
What's your gripe with me?
What's my gripe with you is that you say pop instead of soda, which I know is a huge thing. People think blah, 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 pop, soda, the whole versus who wins. But you say it and you don't even know you say it. And that's
I don't know that I say it.
It's interesting to me because you say like, oh, I'll have a pop. And I'm like, a pop? Like, you'll have a soda.
I genuinely don't know because in my mind, I'm always referring to it as the actual name of the drink. And so I just don't even notice. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe we'll overcome our differences and stay friends.
We are the two uniting, the East Coast and the West Coast. So another food topic that falls under, in our junk drawer is, what's your take on mustard? Is it overrated or underrated in terms of being a condiment?
It's underrated. It's just the facts. Every time that I eat, pretty much the only time that I eat mustard with something is with a veggie corn dog, and every time I'm like, God damn, that's good. Or I will occasionally have it on a grilled cheese, and I'm like, damn, that's good. I guess I do also have it, like, if I make, like, a burger or, like, a chicken sandwich. Anytime I refer to meat, know that I am not referring to real meat here, people. Just, I'm shoving it down your throat that I'm a vegetarian. Anyway. But, like, the time that I really notice it is, like, if I'm actually using it as, like, a dip. That's it. Yeah, mustard's underrated.
I also think mustard is underrated, but I have mustard with anything I possibly can have it with.
Oh.
So I don't really think that it's, like, I don't know what would make it overrated. Like, maybe my habit of eating mustard is overrated because I have it with a lot of things.
That's shocking to me. I've never heard of somebody eating mustard with, like, a lot of things.
So I'll put mustard on a sandwich. I'll put mustard on a sandwich if I do, like, cheese and turkey mustard. Yeah. Or, like, the goat is provolone cheese with salami with yellow mustard on toasted multigrain bread.
That sounds phenomenal. But, like, Chef's do you ever use it as a dip for anything? I think that's where I was getting at here.
I use mustard with, like, chicken tenders if I get chicken tenders. I use mustard. What else? I'll eat mustard with, like, tater tots sometimes, which that's problematic.
Yeah.
I do enjoy honey mustard. I like honey mustard, but it can't be too sweet. I don't like when it's too sweet.
I think honey mustard is just rated, though.
Yeah.
I think people know. People know the good.
People know.
People know what's good with honey mustard.
I like spicy brown mustard. That's another good one. But yeah, I put mustard on sandwiches. I haven't had it on a grilled cheese, so that's interesting. But I'm a fan of mustard. I like mustard more than I like ketchup.
And there you have it, folks.
There you have it, guys.
All right, here's a hill I'd like to die on. Reese's Shapes, infinitely superior to cups, but let me clarify this. Because Reese's, in recent years, and by recent I mean maybe the last 10, has come out with fucking blobs. I am not referring to the blobs. Fuck the blobs. They are greasy piles of dog shit. I'm referring to the kind that are uniform in shape. Everyone is the same. I wish I knew how to... I know how to describe this too. They are almost always in foil as opposed to being in the orange tear-open package. They are in foil because they are all uniformly created and they have a harder shell to them instead of being a big greasy blob. And And so I haven't found them in years because I didn't know that's what I was seeking out. I had this memory from like 15 years ago of having the best peanut butter shape of my life, and I had been searching for that forever since. And then my mom had gotten a bag of Reese's Hearts around Valentine's Day, and they were the foil ones and I bit into it and I said, "Oh my God, we have found them," because it is just so superior, because the chocolate is a hard chocolate shell. It's a better chocolate to peanut butter ratio. The peanut butter inside is creamier instead of grainy. That's all I have to say.
So I agree with that in the sense that, like, the heart-shaped ones, the harder shell ones, like, I've had, like, this past Easter, I've had, like, the rabbit with the chocolate on the inside in the foil. The foil ones, I guess because the chocolate is so much thicker, whereas, like, the blobs we were talking about, like, the Christmas trees, the Reese's Eggs, the Reese's Pumpkins, those, I will eat them only if they're refrigerated or frozen, because then they're not greasy. But it's a thin layer of chocolate on the top, which that's I get, because then it's like, you bite into it and it's so much peanut butter. It's a very alarming amount of peanut butter. So I like the hearts, the rabbits. I do like Reese's peanut butter cups. I even will go to say that I like the Reese's mini cups. The cups that are in the orange sealable bag that you get at like a CVS. I very much enjoy those. I will snack on those forever.
Do those ones, because I feel like there's a couple different ways they package them. Are those ones unwrapped or are they?
They're unwrapped.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're little. They're smaller than the mini cup. Like, they're the mini cups.
Yeah. I'm really fascinated by your refrigerator or freezer thing, though. I think that does help account for the greasiness. I just think, I think that any peanut butter cup that the chocolate has a snap to it, a crunch,
Crunch.
Life-changing.
It is. I agree. I'm a big fan of peanut butter cups. Cassie, let's get to it. I mean, the people want to know. The people are dying to listen to the crushes.
They're like, shut the fuck up about peanut butter cups.
No, I see you
gossip.
You checked it off the checklist, and I assumed that we're done. And I know we're going to dive right into the crushes. And you know what they say? Let's preface this. We're going to preface this segment with a very general statement. I even said we should put this on tote bags. We should put this on t-shirts. This should be on reusable water bottles. The statement is, if he listens, it's his fault.
I literally tattoo it on my body.
Inside a little heart. Inside a heart. Cassie, give me a rundown. Celebrity crushes. Get into it.
All right. So, Milo Ventimiglia, Chad Michael Murray, Adam Scott. Do I have any concept of why these are all 40-year-old men? No. Also, to be fair, though, a lot of it is because of their younger selves.
True.
In particular, like Chad Michael Murray, like in A Cinderella Story.
Yes.
But also, I will watch anything I'm blanking on whatever else he's been in, but like, if he's in it, I'm clicking it.
He's in One Tree Hill.
Oh yeah, I watched that exclusively because of him.
Okay, I believe that.
Milo Ventimiglia, yeah, I mean, that was obviously Gilmore Girls. I feel like I've seen him in other things, though. I haven't finished watching This Is Us, though. Can't remember what else he's in. Adam Scott was when I watched Parks and Rec, but also, the thing is, I will take whatever man the YouTube algorithm serves me up with, like, a late-night talk show interview.
Yes.
I will just click on it. I will not watch their stuff. I will know nothing about them. I just click. I like what I see. Bada bing, bada boom, that's it.
Your 24-hour infatuation with Andy Samberg was very interesting to me.
Oh, that one. Yeah. No, that was a great time. I really enjoyed that. And, on my side, I have Milo Ventimiglia, but on your side, you appear to be taking it appears we have a Team Jess versus Team Dean situation here, except that we both hate all of Rory Gilmore's boyfriends, and this is unrelated.
We like to say that we're Team Lane and Dave.
Facts.
Endgame. They were Endgame. We're supposed to be Endgame. So, okay, when I watched Gilmore Girls last year for the first time, I was very obsessed with Jared Padalecki portraying Dean, you know. I don't know what it is. He had that very, like, golden retriever, puppy dog boyfriend mentality in the beginning. And then he went sour. He got sour like some grapes. And I was not a fan after that. I was not a fan when he cheated on his wife with Rory. I was not a fan when he just kind of made, like, every problem in his life, having to do with Rory, things like that. He just turned out to be a real shit boyfriend. Sorry, but it's real. So I liked him for how he looked. Although, like, when he was in his, like, soon-to-be divorced man era, he did not, I don't know, the hair did not, I don't know what happened. The bangs were too long.
I think I've actually blocked out what he looks like. I just know that it's not good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And there wasn't, like, enough, like, okay, because, like, so after I watched Gilmore Girls, I never finished, but, like, when I couldn't get enough of Jared Padalecki, I started Supernatural, which led me to like Jared even more, because him and Jensen Ackles, who plays Dean, in the first season of Supernatural were like, they're so cute, like they're just very like quirked up white boys like type of vibe, and I was just into it. What can I say? It was a spooky show and it had two cute boys in the center of it. Like, I guess that's what I really liked.
You know what I think it was, though, about the Jared Padalecki pre-divorcing his wife in Gilmore Girls thing, though? I think it's because I was so disappointed in him that
True.
Then I associated his appearance with his personality. Like, his personality and life situation became so ugly in that moment that it didn't matter what he looked like because I hated him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, he was rough. And when him and Rory dated after he got a divorce, it was even weirder. It was uncomfortable. Like, it was a very, like, the town hates this guy. You know, Lindsay had the whole public stunt of throwing the shit out, the window. It's like, how could you like this guy? Which, he only left the show due to the fact that he got the role in Supernatural. So who even would have known what happened, after, if he never got the Supernatural role, we don't know what would have happened. But Jensen Ackles, like, he was in the most recent season of the show, The Boys, which I hate to say it, it's on Amazon Prime. I did use another person's Amazon Prime account to watch it, so I did not use any of my own money. I liked him in that. He has that very rugged, like, I do think he leans more of the side of being a 40-year-old man, so, like, it could just be that. We love the weathered look. So I very much enjoyed him in both of them in Supernatural are very, I don't know, they just had this very, like, silly but serious, presence about them. Speaking of weathered men, Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad, I will die on this hill. I love him. He is not, I don't know, he's like, Aaron Paul's portrayal of, like, Todd from BoJack Horseman and Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad are like two of my favorite characters that I've ever watched on a television show. They're very much the same character, though, in a way, like a very like kind of like drifter vibe, like not really knowing what they're doing with their life type of thing. Like I just enjoyed that. I don't know why. But so Aaron Paul as Jesse Pinkman was kind of just like this, like, I don't know, without the drug use and without the cooking meth and stuff, like, I think he had potential. Big fan of him. I guess I also just, like, liked his, I just liked how he acted. I don't know, he was just a good one. Speaking of BoJack Horseman, I really liked Will Arnett. I hate to say it, I don't know if it's because he voiced BoJack Horseman, the horse. I don't know. I meant to talk about this in our Comfort Media episode, but I'm glad I'm talking about it here. Anthropomorphic characters, like, it's a horse, but it's like human characteristics. I don't know. Into it. Maybe that's a crush within itself. Maybe it's something I need to talk about in therapy. Who knows? But I am a big fan of Will Arnett. And again, with the Reese's, he does the Reese's commercials. So when a Reese's commercial comes on, I am seated. I am ready to hear him in his 30 seconds talking, and then I move on with my day as if nothing happened. So big fan of Will Arnett. We love you out here. But Adam Scott, I'm also a huge fan of, so I do agree with your infatuation with Adam Scott. In Parks and Rec, he was just the perfect nerd. I mean, he cried over getting the Game of Thrones sword chair. Amazing.
Where do I begin? When it comes to the concept of Twitter crushes, just internet crushes in general, they are a different breed. Because here's the thing. I don't care if I know you in real life. having a Twitter crush is not the same thing as having a crush. It's like it falls into the same category, not the same category, but like how having a celebrity crush does not mean you actually have feelings for this person. Like having a Twitter crush is its whole own vibe, its whole own experience. Because, you know, at the end of the day, having a crush on somebody based on what they post on the internet, it's like kind of a parasocial relationship. It's kind of just like this custom feed that it's, you know, it's like how people say it's like their like social media account or whatever is just their highlight reel or whatever. You know, it's not, you have no actual real concept of what they're actually like. And so you have enough distance removed from them that it's fun to have a crush on them until they give you the ick.
Yes. Cassie, can you explain to us what the ick is? What does it mean?
The ick, it's just whatever the one random thing that comes up is that you go, oh, yeah, no, maybe it's not fun to have a crush on you. Maybe I'm not attracted to you at all, actually. Maybe you actually really annoy me. Which is not exclusive. It's not exclusive to internet crushes, but no, I think having Twitter crushes is really fun. I've had several. If you're listening, just kidding. None of you know who you are. You'll never know.
I only know.
I just deeply believe that liking tweets is flirting. I'm kidding. Well, but also I've looked at all of your likes.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that for me, it's definitely, yeah, because, like, parasocial relationships are something that I feel like I've always a bit, like, struggled with in a way. I guess because, like, you know, a lot of times you're just exposed to so many people online, and a lot of people are like you more than the people you are around you are like you. So, you know, I was very, I had a hard time, you know, coming to terms with some things like that, especially when I was younger. But anyway, you know, and I also think because, too, is like you said about having a custom feed of these people, it's like you can just, like, look up anything about this person. You can look at the people that they interact with. You can look at their likes, their retweets, who they follow. It's like you can kind of, like, make your own assumption and you make your own judgments on these people without actually talking to them at all. Like, you could have no interaction with them on Twitter other than likes, you know, here and there and things like that.
In fact, the less interaction, the better.
Yeah, because they don't ruin it for you.
Yes.
So, you know, because, like, if I have a Twitter crush, first place I'm going is their likes. What are you into? I also want to know, like, you know, what are, like, politically, where do you fall? Because I cannot develop a crush for a Republican. I draw the line in the sand. So, you know, when you look at their likes or you look at, you know, places like, I don't want to say where they live, because, like, you don't get, like, a good idea unless you, like, know they live in your state, things like that. Or, like, if you know of them in person, you know, and online. But you kind of just get a vibe for, like, the person that they are without interacting with them at all. And, like, I definitely developed a bit, like, of crushes in a way of, like, guys I've talked to on dating apps. But, like, I have done, there are some times where I will find out information about them and I will do a deep dive on Google and I will find everything. I will find your family's history. I will find, like, the type of job that you work at before you tell me. Like, I'll get into it. I don't care because I want to know what I'm getting into. I want to know who I have a crush on.
People are listening to this and calling the cops. But no, literally anytime I find anyone even remotely attractive, I am Googling their entire life.
Please don't call the cops. We are just normal people. This is normal behavior. Yada yada yada. We're not gonna
In fact, I've gotten to I actually, you know what? The internet's ruined me so much that I actually get kind of annoyed when people, like, aren't online enough and I can't find anything on them. I'm like, how am I supposed to know if it's valid for me to have a crush on you? What if you're old?
Or, like, you know, when people don't have enough, like, photos of themselves or, like, what they do and things like that.
How am I supposed to tell my friends?
How am I supposed to have you appear in my dreams if I can't see what you look like? How am I supposed to tell my friends?
The thing is, it's just funny because I think it just goes to show we don't want to have crushes on actual people that could potentially, like, we don't want to interact with them. We don't want to, the more unrealistic, the better, because having a crush and wanting a relationship are not the same things.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I literally have said that I have crushes on video game characters. Like, that's not real. You have a crush on somebody, and it's just something to keep your brain occupied for a while.
Yes.
It's like the fidget spinner of your brain.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
you're just...
if I had a senior quote, all my crushes are just fidget spinners for my brain. Damn.
Cassie, but what are some things that give you that? Name a few. What's something that someone can do that makes you go, nope.
Oh, God. Where do I begin? But also mine are so niche, I feel like. People who live in Clackamas County, so that's where I live, complain about how awful it is, but don't do anything to try to help change it. I think this is because, like, to me, it's like I could never be attracted to somebody who didn't believe that, like, it's possible for, like, the community I'm fighting for to be a better place for people. Like, if you, like, don't inherently believe that, like, that's ugly.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
But I mean, like, I'm sure there's people who live here who, like, have valid reasons to, like, be pessimistic. I mean, like, I know it sucks here. And I know that a lot of people have been harmed by things that have happened here, but also, I don't know, people be talking the talk and not walking the walk, and I'm sick of it. Similarly, though completely different, being politically good on one issue and awful on everything else, that is totally not about transportation Twitter at all. Crypto. Men saying they want to go to DC with me, being against fearless transit, lacking class awareness, and oh boy, texting and driving / irresponsible and dangerous driving. If he listens, it's his fault.
Yes, if he, like, we're reiterating it, we should make merch. We gotta make merch after this episode.
If the shoe fits, you know, whatever, live your damn life. I just won't fall in love with you. It's fine. But Mariah, what about you? I feel like we have some overlapping icks.
Yeah, we got some overlapping icks here. So one of my big icks, which Cassie mentioned, is crypto. You can't sit here and say that you want me to invest in crypto. I'm not. You can't sell it on me. Because, like, I don't know. I also just, like, if you like crypto, fine. But, like, you have to allow other people to, like, they're also, you know, things that fall into that same, like, niche category. Like, if you make fun of girls for, like, astrology, but you are into crypto, it's like, no. Get over yourself. If you have too much money and you have too much time on your hands, you could be doing so much better things with your life. So, anyway, another big ick for me is people who are not, like, self-aware of themselves, are not self-aware of their, like, behavior, especially towards others. Some people just want to be like, I'm broken, and that's it for the rest of their life. It's like, don't you want to get better? Don't you want to see this out in some way? I just want you to feel good about yourself, dude. Like, get there. You can do it. I believe in you. If there's one person that believes in you, it's this girl that you talked to on Hinge 3 months ago. Another one that I don't like is listening to problematic, like, artists or actors / comedians. Like, when I would see on dating apps like Bumble, where it would have, like, your music taste on there, when people had, like, 6ix9ine, they had Kanye West, they had, like, every problematic person under the sun that has been vocal about, like, being a piece of garbage. Like, another thing I don't like that gives me the ick is, like, love bombing, which that means, like, someone, like, showing you, like, affection, a heavy affection right out the gate. Like, another thing, like, half my icks are things that I've learned from being on a dating app, so that's why a lot of these are, like, centered around that. But, like, I would have, like, you know, in my dating app profile, I would like that I would have that I'm into video games, which then led men to be like, oh my God, you like Legend of Zelda? You like this? You like that? Like, sending you heart emojis and love emojis and, like, wanting to hang out with you really bad. And it's like, you're being weird. Please don't. Like, you have never met me. I'm a stranger to you. I'm a freak. Don't talk to me. Like, you know, and it's just, it could be this whole other thing of just, like, people that want, that show you a lot of affection because they really want your attention and really want to stand out, but they don't realize, again, of, like, another self-awareness thing, they don't realize how their behavior. So that's a huge thing. Dating apps are also just an ick to me in general, because sometimes, like I've said before, men are pathetic. This is a huge one for me, which I know Cassie agrees with. People that have peaked in high school and or have their high school in their social media bio 4+ years after graduation. Enough. Get it over with. Get it out of there. I graduated high school in 2015. It's time to let it go. College is different because I know college is like a lot of people's like, that's like a connection thing you could build with jobs and things like that. But high school, get it out of there. Come on. No one cares that you did football in high school. I'm sorry. No one cares. It's okay. And that's okay. No one cares. But like, I get surprised every time I see it. I get surprised every time I see that someone has, their high school in their bio.
Are we gonna get canceled for all of this?
I don't know. If we get canceled, it's gonna be people that we don't even like.
You're right. The thing is, I feel, well, I was gonna say that, I was like, the thing is, I was like, maybe I'd be friends with people who are like this. I just wouldn't have a crush on them. And then I looked at my list again, and yeah, some of them, some of them, maybe we could agree to disagree, but a lot of them, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think, like, for me, it's like, I could be friends with some people who, do stuff like this, but, like, I don't really, these are just, like, personal icks for, like, people that I would want to be in a relationship with. Like, that's really
exactly.
it. Like, like, whereas, like, friends, I don't know, sometimes friends can be a little different. Like, it's more of just, like, someone that you're, like, actually wanting to spend the rest of your life with and, like, potentially start a family with, XYZ, like, you have to kind of have some, I don't know, you have to have some type of, like, and it's okay to have, like, icks, I don't know, like, you're not gonna, like, sometimes I feel like people have broken up for less, so.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it makes sense, and, like, at the end of the day, so a lot of these are related to larger systemic issues, but, it's okay, yeah, it's okay to have icks, and also, yeah, I don't know. Like, some things, like, I could be friends with somebody who's against fairless transit, but I'm gonna give them shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, I could be friends with somebody who, like, doesn't go to therapy, but, like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you in that type of sector where you're so close to each other all the time.
Well, and, like, where you just, that would be hard. Like, you want the best for somebody.
Like what Lord said. Everyone wants the best for you, but you gotta want it for yourself.
Preach.
We realized, that we're not immune to criticism. People have icks about us. And one of them, I hate to say it, one of them is probably the fact that we have a podcast. And that's, a lot of people determine that as being cringe.
Oh my God. Are we cringe for having a podcast?
I mean, I'm cringe for other things. But, like, I'm also cringe for having a podcast.
Icks about ourselves. Having a podcast, standing one direction. I don't know. It's so hard. We're so flawless. I'm kidding. There's probably people who have icks now about our icks, and they're like, shit, I can never listen to this podcast ever again. They have opinions.
I mean, I feel like the icks about myself would be that I could be really annoying online. Like, constantly tweeting sometimes. Although I did delete Twitter. It's been a few days. I haven't gone on Twitter. Anyway, an ick that I talk about liking video game characters. Like, I feel like that's very taboo, very weird. I don't, I mean, like, sometimes today was the first day I washed my bed sheets, like, in a really long time. So that's an ick.
Same.
Physically and mentally. I mean, like, I feel like there's probably definitely other things. But also, like, I don't know. I think I'm also somebody who, like, I don't care too much about other people's opinions of me because, like, I like myself. Like,
Same.
But, like, I like myself in a normal way of just being, like, I'm confident with who I am. So, like, if you had a problem with me, that's something you literally deal with internally with yourself. Like, that has nothing to do with me. That's like it's like you have some unresolved issues there.
Yes, I What was the other ick I just thought of? Oh, being a vegetarian. I'm sure people are like, oh my god. Hell, even the fact that, for, all the Republicans out there who go, oh shit, she like believes in climate change. Just kidding. I don't know how often I encounter them. Yeah.
I would even push it to say that some people's icks about us are the fact that we are still like COVID conscious, and that we wear masks.
Oh,
and that we are vaccine advocates. I feel like that's an ick that some people are probably like, ugh, like you really care about that stuff. It's like, yeah, dude, I don't want to die.
True. That crosses like political party lines, in terms of like most people are over it and are probably annoyed and self-conscious that we still care. And like you said, that's a you problem.
Facts.
So basically we love ourselves and fuck it if you don't.
Literally.
Apparently that's the energy that we have brought back. But then simultaneously, we're like actually just really insecure about the fact that we voiced actual opinions about not liking things. Or maybe that's just me.
No, I get that too. Like sometimes, I mean, like I've always been nervous to like sometimes be honest with people about how I feel and stuff like that. And I think that it's just a whole issue within itself, But, sometimes like people don't like others that cause like conflict in a way, that cause a rift in like the societal fabric. So, us not liking certain things that people have that other people have normalized in a way. It's like that, they have a problem with that regardless.
You tell them, bestie.
I might get their ass. Drop an Addy, I'll fight. Today's ending segment is How Are You Really? So, Cassie, this begs the question. How are you really?
Life's been a bit of a struggle lately. Today, right now, like today exclusively, I'm okay. And I've had a good day, which it's been a minute, and I actually kind of forgot what it was like, which sounds really dramatic, I feel like, but no, it's really nice to have a good day and to just feel a little bit lighter and feel like things are under control because last week I was struggling to even do my homework because my mental health was struggling so much. And like I know that like the rest of this week and probably parts of next week are still going to be stressful and chaotic and busier than I would like them to be. But I'm trying to just, like, enjoy the fact that despite all of that, like, today is okay. And, like, figure out, I guess, what it is about today. I don't know. It's just, like, I feel like I'm constantly trying to figure out, okay, what worked today that I can apply to other days. But I have therapy on Friday. It's just sucks that I scheduled it, like, 3 weeks ago, and I've had to wait so long. But looking forward to that, and just, I don't know, it's supposed to be nicer weather this week and stuff, so I should be able to get outside with friends more this week, which will be very nice, and I will wear sunscreen because on Friday the sun came out for 30 seconds and burned my forehead. Absolutely embarrassing. Pretty sure I'm the only person ever to get burnt. Just kidding. Not really, but like I just don't think anybody else who was also there got sunburnt from the 30 seconds of sun. I am just shocked and embarrassed, but I will wear sunscreen this week. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just like trying to just enjoy being content. I wish I wasn't dreading the feeling being fleeting, but I'm just trying to take things one day at a time and enjoy the fact that I am having a good day.
Yeah, baby steps, Allow yourself to be present in the moment.
Exactly. How are you, really?
I feel like I'm doing all right. I feel like the last time we had this segment, I was struggling.
Happy to play the struggle role today.
Like I've said, someone always has to be the miserable one. It's the trade-off of being podcast hosts. I'm just kidding. Haha. You know what it is? I think it's because it's like I'm just really excited to go to Disney, and I think that's the only thing kind of keeping the glue together in my head. I'm sure when I get back from my trip, I'm gonna be devastated. Like I feel like I'm gonna come back to the reality that life is brutal and disgusting and terrible. Especially as like summer comes around and things like that. I'm just not a summer gal. I'm sorry, I have a June birthday, but I'm just not a summer girl. And I think the thing is too is that like whenever I have markets that I talk to other business owners who like help bounce ideas off of and help come up with like good concepts for one another, things like that. Like I feel like that just really fills my cup. Like that really just makes things a lot better for me. Like this past weekend I was doing like some sales at my vendor table because I just want to move some more inventory to make room for nicer stuff. So I'm working on like new bracelets for the summer that are giving me a bit more of like a very like, oh, like I'm excited to make this stuff. Where in the past, I almost like dreaded making things for my business because I was just making things to fill a table and not making things for the pleasure of, crafting and creating. So I'm very much looking forward to making these new bracelets that I've had sitting. I've had the beads for a while. I just wanted to move some of this inventory first. Same thing with like some of the air plant holders I had. I actually got an idea from a friend to do like crystal. So I make like air plant holders that's like a crystal in the bottom. It's a wire wrap spiral and a plant that sits in the top. I had a friend that was like, well, I'm horrible at taking care of plants. So what if you made these but put dried flowers in them? And I love that idea because I think they would be beautiful to create a crystal on the bottom, like a rose quartz, and then doing like pink and white flowers and making it like a little like art piece, where you can have like different ones for, different settings, things like that. Like I even like the idea of doing like an amethyst crystal with like silver wire and doing like dried lavender buds because then it can be like a sleep and relaxation one. And like that stuff is like what really like invigorates me, I guess, because I also just like the like forest fairy aesthetic, and I really think that kind of fits into it. And I just want something fresh. I want something fun for the summer. So I think that those are, would be really perfect for me to start working on soon. So if you're listening to this, please, please, please buy a bracelet or an air plant holder so I can sell some of these things so I can make new things. But yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know how I'm feeling, but I just feel like positive in this moment right now. So
I love that. Yeah, I love being creatively inspired. That's like such a satisfying feeling.
Well, that's a wrap on this week's episode. Be sure to follow the Cassie and Mariah Show wherever you listen to podcasts, at TCMS Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and look out for new episodes every Wednesday. Bye!